There we go.
Today we're doing something a little different.
Every fish will tell us a clue. Every day on the water, you're gonna have challenges.
You get a phone a friend.
What do you suggest here? Fishing doesn't make sense sometimes.
Hey, what's up, TW? Here with our OG Pro Jared Lintner, here in his shop, in his hometown. And today we're doing something a little different. Most of you have seen Day in the Lake from Bassmasters. We're gonna do a tackle warehouse blind cast. So Jared, we've got 10 lakes that I've been to before, narrowed it down to 5. We got those 5 lakes in the hat. And you're gonna choose what lake we're going to today.
As long as I'm not paying for gas, I don't care where we go. Tobesofkee? Yeah, I've never heard of it.
The main thing today is really get inside your head, see how you break down a new lake, and see how many fish you catch, and track your best 5. All right, guys, for those of you not familiar with Day on the Lake, like I said, we're gonna track Jared's best 5 fish, but the main goal for the day is really see how Jared breaks down the lake, get inside his head, have him articulate what he's doing, why he's doing it, what's going on throughout the day, why he makes his decisions, and that's the main goal of the day, really just figure out what Jared's doing so we can be better fishermen ourselves. Once we get to the lake, get a 15-minute ride around. After that, we're gonna sit down, gather your thoughts, get things tied up. Then we're gonna official time in. Once that time in starts, you have 3 hours until period 1 is over. 1 hour break, 30 minutes to have a lunch, and you got 30 minutes after that to retie and regroup for 1 more 3-hour period. End of the day, we're gonna track your best 5 fish and see how you do. All right, nice little drive out here to the lake. Official right around starts now. Shut him off.
For what?
You're done. Your run around is over.
I'm idling. It's idle around.
Hey, no running around, no looking, no cheating.
Well, I can still look. You can't ask me to
No
close
snagging.
my eyes. I can't unsee what I've already seen.
Blindfolded.
Well, I mean, the lake so far looks pretty cool. I got a water temp of 60 degrees. Water's pretty dirty. You know, the Garmin mapping, even though they probably haven't done a site survey here, the map is actually pretty decent. And so I think what I'm gonna do is start actually in here. It's the last big creek before the main river, which looks like the main river. So I'm gonna start in here, and then there's some other pockets and things that look great. I gotta retie some stuff, I'll tell you that. because my clear water Lake Lanier stuff ain't gonna
cut it?
It ain't gonna be playing right here. So.
All right, you got up to another 30 minutes to get retied, resituated, and before your first period starts, and then we'll get official lines in, and we'll get going.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it, bud. All right, 15-minute ride around is over. You got retied, resituated, rigged up, ready to go. Your official time starts now.
Well, get off the front of the boat and I can do
All
some
right,
work.
I'll get out of your way.
Only a few minutes into the day so far, and you know, I decided to start in this kind of a big creek. The water's pretty stained. You can see this methylate worm maybe 4 or 5 inches down, maybe. Man, I like what I'm seeing so far. I think the fish should be spawning usually when you get a consistent water temp of 59 or 58 or above. We just came off a full moon 2 nights ago. So I really feel like they should be real shallow, maybe on some of these seawalls, you know, but not ever having been to this lake. I'm just kind of fishing what I would fish if I was here practicing for a tournament. So you got to kind of keep an open mind, even though, you know, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some spawning activity or, you know, potentially some pre-spawn fish, maybe out here on some of these main lake points. But so far, no bites, but I like what I see. So we're just going to keep after it, and every fish will tell us a clue. Hopefully we get a clue quick. Behind the dock. Whoa, came in a little hot. Front side of the dock, nothing. Through behind the dock, bite. So just a little old male, first bite. So there is bass, we have established that. Behind the dock, I mean the boat right now is sitting in 1.1 feet of water in the depth where that fish bit. So a little over a foot of water, fish. We're gonna continue on. Biggin, 1.19. Not a whole lot of reservoirs or lakes have seawalls, like man-made seawalls. Anywhere there's docks and houses on the lake, they have seawalls, right? So if you look across the way, there's a big seawall, and what those fish do is they use that just like they would use a stump or, you know, a laydown to spawn next to or to live on. A big part of spring out here is those seawalls. So you gotta try it. We fished some natural bank right down through there. Limited time, you gotta maximize your fishing time and try to establish a pattern that is gonna be productive and get you some bites. Okay, so you can kind of see, we started in the back of this big creek. This here is the main river, but it's the biggest creek back in this part of the lake, it looks like. This whole thing over here on my left side was all a big shallow flat, and it's well represented there on my mapping. And then over here you can see how the contours, I got the depth shading. So this is a little bit steeper tapering bank on this side. I've never fished here, so we gotta go check it out. Maybe that's how where they want to spawn on this lake. I don't know. So hit this natural bank, hit that seawall, and then from there if we get a bite, we'll try to duplicate it. If we don't, we'll try some other stuff. Just came across this other side. There's one. Oh nope, that was a stick fish. It's got a little bit steeper taper over here. So I'm this far away from the bank, and on my 2D, I'm almost 4 foot of water, whereas over there, I was further from the bank and I was in 1.5 feet. So picked up this bladed jig, and I didn't really like the trailer I had on it. It was kind of too transparent, so I wanted something more white. So I put on a little blade minnow, white, kind of stands out more. And again, it might be a deal where they, you know, if they're on beds, they might want something bluegill colored, like a black and blue, green pumpkin, something like that. So I'm gonna fish with this for a minute. If nothing, I might change up and try a bluegill colored. Right off that into that laydown right there. So yeah, I just got done explaining that I changed that trailer. Look at that. Little male up there. Maybe there's got a female up there on the bed. But yeah, that was a bladed jig, white and chartreuse, white trailer, and I've been going back and forth in my head, like maybe it's a bluegill thing, you know, like black and blue or something like that. But another little male, 1.6. We're on the right track. At least they're bass. It's a hard thing when you got water color like this during the spawn, because with it being so dark, you can get away with throwing more reaction baits, you know, and they'll be more apt to eat it if you wind it by a bed. But some fish, I mean, when they're on bed, they ain't gonna chase stuff. So, you know, slowing down and flipping may be the deal, but obviously you're not gonna cover as much water. So it's one of those deals, you have to establish, you know, can I get a quality bite winding? Or am I gonna have to flip a jig or throw a soft stick bait or floating worm, you know, something slower? I mean, realistically, I'd love to just flip a jig and throw a frog or a chatterbait. They bite a chatterbait, that's fun. Get over here to the seawall, see what happens. first throw with the bling. He's just a little guy on the seawall, but he's not even up there spawning. He's just up there feeding. Gold gill, bluegill color bling. Wish he was a little bit. Are we weighing him? Really? This right here, I'm really impressed. The brand new DXB Daiwa Tackle Warehouse collaborations, exclusive 7'5" reaction bait rod. You know, they had one a couple years back. We've reworked it, and this thing is dialed in. Obviously, I'm throwing the bladed jig, but spinner bait, square bill. Like I said, 7'5". We had 3 other rods also in the lineup. Frog rod, a little, I don't know, flat side crankbait rod, and a kind of a swim bait jig rod, but that is super, super nice. I'm really impressed. They did a great job. It's a glass, so you can see the bend on that. Gives my approval, I guess. So look for those at Tackle. They should be out, I don't know, sometime near the fall, I think, or maybe even late summer.
All right, Lintner, 1 hour is down, 2 hours to go for the first period.
Jeez, time's flying. I don't like where we're at. We gotta go check out some other sections or a different part of the lake because not liking it. All right, so we fished this big old creek right here. This is the main, I guess, the main part of the lake. I think I want to try to get up in here. I'm just not sure if there's stumps or standing timber, so I got to be careful, but I'm on a time constraint, so I don't know if I want to spend my time to idle or just send it and end up in the shop here in a minute. So these are all parts of blind cast drama. Just not having been here, I don't know if it, you know, there's not a creek channel that I can see. So it's like, do you just run across that flat and maybe we'll just fish this pocket. If we get a good bite, we might press on, and if not, we'll run back down and look at this right here. Yeah, there's a bass boat way over there though. The old power shot. All right, yeah, they're like spawning because made multiple flips. Finally got that one bite, but look at that one, male. 113, okay. That was cool. Every fish that has bit me has been where I would think they'd have a bed spawning, you know. 2 of the fish I caught had real definite signs that they were on a bed, but I've caught one on chatterbait, one on spinnerbait, one on a power shot. The problem with a river, for me, in my opinion, this time of year with a lot of rains and cold fronts and stuff, the shallower the water, the more they're gonna get affected. And if we get heavy rains, it's gonna blow it out and cause problems. I have done better fishing more main lake and in some smaller pockets that don't get as affected by the weather. I still haven't determined whether I wanna fish fast or fish slow because we haven't got enough bites doing anything. I've not had a bite on a frog yet, which is really, really disturbing me. I think we're gonna fish maybe a little bit of this stuff right here and then make a move and yeah, try to figure out how to catch a couple big ones. Fish this pretty big sized pocket here. You know, this is that river area up there. So I think what I wanna do is come down. This is all kind of the same, similar type stuff. But if you look at this, it's kind of like, you know, a little bay or whatever, and there's a narrow little neck down. I want to go look at that, and then we'll just keep bouncing around. There's some stuff I seen when we were driving up here that I want to at least sample. So we're going to head back, go underneath the bridge, and go around the corner. Well, that didn't take long. Pulled up on a new bank, ran down the lake a little bit, seen the laydown. Obviously, look at that one. That one's a little male too. The fish are spawning, they want to spawn around something, whether it's a stump, a lay down, a dock piling, a rock, grass patch, something. So they want to be on something. Still, just males though, but sooner or later we'll get a big one.
1 pound, 0 ounces. Right as you set the hook, you have officially less than 1 hour left.
New weapon. Usually you can get them to bite on a frog, you know, if they're on a bed and go over them or whatever, but I haven't had a bite on a frog, so I just want to see, because I've thrown a buzzbait, I've thrown a frog, and I've thrown the pompadour. The water's a little bit cleaner in here. There's a little bit of grass, there's some wood. I'd be shocked if we don't catch a decent one in here. It just feels right. Oh. Oh. Did you see that? I just missed one, like first or second cast after I tied on. If that fish really wanted that bait, he would have got it. So there's something about whatever's going on. So that fish is in that region for whatever reason. He's probably up there trying to spawn or on a bed actually. And so if you make a mental note of it, either on your units, mark it on your units, or, you know, just, hey, I'm gonna be in this area. I know on the right side of that dock, that good one came up and missed my deal. Go over there and make another presentation. For me personally, I've learned over all these years, you know, my first instinct would be go, hey, that's what he bit the first time, he just missed it. I'm gonna go and throw that again. Not necessarily the truth. I'm not saying you can't happen, but what I've learned is generally what I'll do is I'm going over there, I'll have a wacky worm and I'll kind of make 2 or 3 casts in that general area, and a lot of times you're gonna catch that fish. So, you know, just because, oh my gosh, I missed one, it was a good one, poor me, whatever, you come back through there, give them a little bit of time, make an adjustment, and odds you might catch that fish. So if that fish wanted that bait, he would have got it. So there's something going on. There, I got him. He's not the same fish. I think that's the male. So I'm pretty sure this is the male. The first one that blew on me was much larger. Yeah, but I just talked about how I would normally not throw back in there with the same bait, but I did, and pretty sure, about 99.9% sure, this was a different fish than blew up on me the first time when I missed that. So that's 3 bites now. I made a little subtle change, little Bangalore, old school. That's one of my favorite colors during the spawn, like bumblebee or something. So
15 ounces.
Dang right. Let that one go. Back in there. Where's the big ones at?
£1 pound, 3 ounce. Last cast of the first period. You can work that cast back in. You know, you might have snuck it in after.
I'm gonna have to re-rig. Get some different things going on.
All right, that wraps up the first period, guys. We'll take a 30-minute lunch, official lunch for 30 minutes. Once you're done with that 30 minutes, Jared's have another 30 minutes to retie and kind of walk us through what he's planning on doing for the rest of the afternoon for his final period of 3 hours. All right, official lunch break is over, 30 minutes are done. One thing we didn't tell you about, you get a phone a friend, but stipulations, they can never have fished there before.
Really?
So you call me, getting some advice, tell you what to do, but nothing from no
So
locals.
you're taking it on my word that I'm calling somebody that's never fished here before?
Usually I don't trust you, Jared, but I'll trust you on this one. We trust you. So you think about it, let me know who you want to call, and then we'll pick up here and call who you want to do.
Okay. Well,
Jared Lintner.
what's up, superstar?
What a surprise this is. What are you doing?
I'm out here on Tobesofkee. It's got a river up at the top part of it, but there's all kinds of laydowns and stuff stuck on the sandbars, and I didn't know how to run it. How many fish have I caught?
I think total is 7.
7 or 8?
Yeah, 7 or 8.
And the biggest one's a 113, 114?
119.
119, that doesn't even make sense, Schmidt.
I'm sorry, 1.19.
Jared ate a Snickers bar today. Corey Daniel.
No, has not yet, but
dude.
he's been pretty good. Hasn't needed one quite yet.
Well, he's already had 2 Dr. Peppers, 5 energy drinks, a whole bag of pork rinds that accidentally spilled all over my boat, of course. He's shoeless.
I've had half a Dr. Pepper.
The good thing is the sun's not out, so I don't have sunscreen all over everything in my boat. Dude, I can't get him to bite a frog, but I put on an old Bangalore and started getting some bites, started taking some bites. What do you suggest here?
I would take that Daiwa Nico Yamamoto worm, the fat worm, and I would pitch that on every piece of wood, next to every piece of wood, skip that thing up under them trees, that wood right there, the corner of that dock post.
So I assume you would rig up your AGS 7.4 Cody Meyer rod?
Yeah, I'd throw it on 10 pound, and I would go to skipping just at least in a couple pockets and see. That's what I would do.
Okay.
You know they're up there. They might not be biting, moving stuff, buzz baits. I'm sure you square build a little bit. Just this time of the year, that water temp, that's got to work.
Well, thanks for the advice, buddy.
See you, man.
All right, later.
See you, Cody.
I'm gonna make a few changes. I'm gonna put on a smaller Cara frog, first of all. This may be too big, maybe. I don't know. You know, I talked with Cody Meyer. He was my phone friend. And of course, I pretty much knew he was gonna say, get out of wacky rig. And so I'm gonna do that. And maybe switch colors of my floating worm, because I really feel like they should be biting it, and maybe they're just seeing too much methylate. We seen one hanging in a tree earlier, so maybe it's whatever, but I've done good on pinks and yellows. So I'm gonna do that and get out another flipping bait as well. And I rigged up the old Gantrel Junior for some of these corners of these docks. Maybe rather than flipping them, I'm gonna try swim the net by it. So got that rigged up, make a few other changes, and we're gonna go get after it.
Final period. 3 hours left. Starts now.
Come on, fishy. Old Cody Meyer, wacky rig. Cody was right. So I guess we can't call him and make fun of him.
All right, Lintner, not to put the pressure on, bud, but you're exactly halfway through the second period. Hour and 30 minutes left. What you thinking, buddy?
I feel like we're fishing around them, but we're just not getting any bites. I've tried top waters, moving baits, wacky rig, power shot, and just not getting any bites. So we'll rig up a little bluegill color swim jig. I'm gonna bust through here real quick. Feel like we should be getting a lot more bites than we are, that's for sure. So just gonna keep bouncing around, and hopefully we run into a stretch that's got some and we catch them and get an understanding for what they're doing. All right, so we made a little move. The only spot where we really got quite a few bites, even though they were smaller, is a spot real similar sets up to the way this area does. So I just decided to come in here, went and tried a little area underneath a bridge, and it kind of forked, and man, maybe we should have got bitten there, but we didn't. So I figured this was our best shot, this time of year with this water temp, with coming off of a full moon like 2 days ago, beautiful weather. In my heart, in my mind, in what I know, they should be in areas like this, pre-spawning and spawn. So that's what we're gonna get after. Disappointed, that's what's going on. I mean, it's this time of year and feel like I'm wasting a day because the fish should be biting. And they probably are. I haven't got that complete clue. You know, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 key bites and you're like, okay, now I understand. And you know, I've tried top water, swim jigs, chatterbait, spinnerbaits, jig, soft plastic, even a wacky worm now, floating worm. Not going. Go try some main lake stuff, natural bank, see if that makes a difference. Chatterbait fish. Moved out to main lake, caught a chatterbait fish. Fishing doesn't make sense sometimes.
1 pound, 6 ounce. Moving on up, buddy.
Colon. By ounces. I'm sure when this gets all edited and put together and stuff, I'll have guys message me, man, you should have did this. You should have did this. Yeah, I get it. I do. Hard to believe fish this time of year with a beautiful day like today, and the biggest fish we caught was a 2-pounder. That's just hard to believe. That's why they call it fishing, not catching.
Jared,
Yes.
that is the official sound of the end of round 2 and the inaugural blind cast.
Blind cast. Blind cast was fun. You know, years ago I did this similar type of thing, and oh, look at that. Does that count? Scoreable?
Technically that cast was after the...
No, that counts. That goes in
the alarm was still going
That
off
goes in
while
the-
the fish, while you made the cast.
That's right. Here, weigh it.
Wait, that's big fish of the day. 1 pound, 9 ounces.
That's what I'm talking about. In the day with a 1.5 pounder. There we go. Years ago, I did this in a different format or for an article, and that was a lot of fun. And it was a lot of fun today. Every day on the water, you're gonna have challenges. You know, I said earlier about the post frontal, you know, and I don't know if that made a difference. I don't know if this place has got tons of big ones or I totally missed the boat. I don't know. But, you know, caught some fish, didn't have an impressive 5-fish weight. I think it was 8-7 total. Tried a variety of things. I caught a 1.5 on a Bengal lure, old school prop bait deal. And then I caught 1 on a swim jig, or a 1.6 and a 1.9 on a chatterbait, chartreuse and white, just going down the outside of this grass lines. Of course, this time of year, one of my favorite techniques is a power shot, bubba shot, whatever you want to call it. Shook it once and boom, took off as a 113. So that was my best one of the day. Brand new rod. Never fished this before until today. Is a 7'3" medium heavy Zillion by Daiwa. That's unbelievable. This is the Cadillac of your reels. If you want the baddest, best bait casting reel ever designed, the Steve's SVTW is the one for you. I'm super impressed with it. This time of year, especially with the muddier water, Bold Bluegill is one of my go-tos. 6-inch Robo Fat Worm and a 1/4 ounce EcoPro tungsten drop shot weight. This here is a 3/0 finesse trocar hook. That's all it is. And you can see it's got a plastic keeper on there, and I'm throwing 14-pound sniper line. I'm not gonna bend that hook out. That's my primary, pretty much power shot, bubba shot rig. And you know, I was surprised we didn't catch a really big one, but maybe next time. The one thing that I would have done different is, I don't know if I want to get sucked into that river area because I don't know it and I don't want to get up there and tear my lower unit off. Looking back at it now, after I've seen the way that the main lake creeks and pockets and that fished, I almost wish I would have went up there. That's the one thing I would have done different. As far as my bait selection, man, I mean, I gave everything a fair shot. If I went back there tomorrow, I promise you I'd still throw a frog. I'd still throw around some top waters. That's a really good way to catch some big fish. But just the location area. Now, you know, hindsight's 20/20, and I'll be willing to bet, you know, if there is some local people that fish this place, leave a comment. Let us know, you know, hey man, yeah, you screwed up. You didn't go far enough in that river. And overall, let us know, you know, this is a new format. Let us know what you thought about blind cast, if there's what you'd like to see, because we're gonna be doing more of this. Even if you aren't around this area, watching me kind of go through my progression throughout the day, what would you have done different? You know, day in and day out, every day you get to the lake, you learn something. And I learned several things today, and if I ever came back here, I would have something to build on. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure and check out some future videos, and yeah, tomorrow's a new day. We're going after big ones.